And indeed we are, and we have
This
many
makes
5
Chaos Emeralds.
Count them. 5 Chaos Emeralds. Fucking Shadow's teaching kids how to count.
Oh my, a flashback to something that happened, what, 20 minutes ago gameplay-wise?
Well, I assume Shadow's like the guy from Memento. He's got absolutely no short-term
Two
memory.
more, and then the truth about
Yeah,
my past
he's
will
a
be
being who
revealed.
can live forever with
I'll
short-term
finally
memory
know
issues.
who I
That'd be
am.
that'd be an amazing film. We must make it now.
That would be actually kind of interesting, just to see how much he screws himself over that way.
What do you mean you forgot about the king? It was only 120 years ago.
The Black Comet?
What? Okay, so wait, I'm just trying to remember what we're doing here now. Myself, I've got short-term memory issues too.
Okay, perhaps we should note this. We recorded part 6 initially, but there was an audio fuck-up on my end, so, we've come back now to re-record it.
After all the other parts, so use any redundant future commentary.
Yeah. So, if we make references to things that haven't happened yet, they have, but not for you. And, this is a final level. So...
And we're back on the hover thing.
So, of course, I'm only showing off the hero side of this mission, but I will show off both endings, as is natural. But it's only because the hero mission is a lot simpler. Because in the dark side mission, you have to run through and kill everything.
Wait, you're killing troops here. At least they look like troops in the counter at the top.
They are troops, but they're only robots. I'm not sure, like, how many men would survive here. No, I'm not doing the objective, I just haven't swapped over yet.
Oh, alright. I was wondering.
Yeah. Shadow's got the intention to kill them, but not the will, in this case.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. So wait, what's the other thing you have to do if you go on,
Hero is just run to the end.
Okay then.
So yeah, Knuckles got here entirely without anyone else.
It's just like Sonic 06. They're like, they request Sonic's help to get, like, Sonic requests their help to get through a certain area, but they're seemingly a lot more competent than Sonic because they can get there before he does. Same here.
Although I like to think that Knuckles got here on the Comet by actually just like getting a run up off the end of Angel Island and just jumping.
I like to think he just sort of wandered here while sensing the Master Emerald. He just like wanders up in the most hilarious situations while looking for that thing. You could base a whole sitcom around him.
So what you're saying has happened is the Emerald is broke again and he's regathering the pieces.
Exactly. See, that is totally a cut thing from this game.
Huh.
The secret super cut thing that like Knuckles yet again broke the Master Emerald for some idiotic reason, and now he's looking for it in the background. However, Sega had the hindsight not to make us play through his levels again.
Do you want to know what the big gimmick was this time? You had to find 5 pieces per level.
And this time there was no radar at all.
No, not even kind of like a sound indicator. You just had to... I don't know. You just had to know, man.
So what's your opinion on this level?
It's actually pretty fun when you play it hero side. It's not really great on the platforming as you're seeing, it's just kind of like very big, wide open. The only real gimmick is these sections where you have to hover above an instant death pit on this pad, which has plenty of health, and if you have a gun you're pretty much fine here. The sections don't really go on long enough to be any threat, so as long as you just keep going forward and shooting everything ahead of you, there's no threat to this. And it's kind of this is the stage's gimmick, these sections.
I see. See, I never got up to this far in the state. Well, what does that water thing do?
It fixes whatever vehicle you're on.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, again, there's not enough. They don't go on long enough to be an actual threat, and you get a full health reboost anyway.
Right. So I haven't played up to this stage, so I haven't played it myself, so I don't know how fun it actually is. But just by looking at it, honestly, this is another level that kind of shows one of my problems with this game. So I really didn't like a lot of the aesthetics of it. Like so a lot of stages, mostly the Black Arms-based one, they had a lot of like they had this organic sort of purple color palette sort of thing going on that I never really liked. It always looked very dull, but it looked dull but neon at the same time, which was really mixed with me, and I never liked. Especially even like just their for instance just their overall design and whatnot I never liked from the start, and this is a stage that exemplifies more of that.
Well, I think the colour palette and such is more to go with the tone of the game, trying to be quite sad and downbeat. But then even Sonic Adventure 2, I mean, it wasn't...
Purple, it's fucking purple and red.
Yeah, and yet it's still downbeat because they've got very hushed colours. I mean, like, you wouldn't call this vibrant, would you? I mean, this isn't like...
Yeah, desaturated, I know what you mean. Well, no, actually, not even that, because it's not desaturated. I know what you mean, but... Actually, no. Now that I think about it, it does try to use like very dark colors, you know, like dark purple and stuff like that. But at the same time, like I said before, back in like part 1 or something, it still uses the hero's engine, which makes it look very, shiny and yes, vibrant. And when you got this like engine that's like trying to render like dull colors as very vibrant, you get this very eerie, this just effect that doesn't work together.
Well, I just kind of point to the example that Saints Row 2 and Red Faction, was it Guerrilla, use the same engine, and they actually pulled off pretty good differing aesthetics. So again, it just comes down to how you present yourself, and this game doesn't present itself very well. I mean, it's...
I mean, like, for instance, it does juggle different aesthetics around, like, for instance, Westopolis. And again, like, Westopolis is one of the most, like, I bring up Westopolis a lot because I think it actually sums up what this game could have done really well. But Westopolis, in terms of just, color palette, it was very gray, and it did really work for the game. However, this is, like, more, it's vibrant but dull at the same time, as oxymoronic as it sounds.
Well, I can see what you mean, but I just want to go back to the Westopolis point. I don't actually think it's a good level whatsoever, I just think it's the one that pisses you off the least. I mean, seriously, I would never call that a good level, even by by this game's standards, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, I don't really mean in terms of, actually good, but I mean as in, I think it exemplifies a lot of what this game was trying to do the best. Like, it shows off the aesthetic this game was originally going for, it shows off the sort of level design. I mean, I do think it has good level design and stuff, it's mostly just the controls, just like everything else in this game kind of fucks you over, but, design-wise I thought it was not, design-wise actually I think quite a lot of the levels in this game aren't half bad. So that's why I use it, but I just use it as the most universal example in this game.
I always kind of think that, considering they had to do the amount of stories, I'd always think it'd be weird for the level designers when you're doing, considering that you have to play every level, and considering the fact that, basically this game, it has many different levels in a sense, but there's only several themes, because the themes repeat themselves quite often. Even then, they do good differences in some levels. I think there is another stage that takes place within this comet. Oh, I've got very far ahead of myself by talking about that. But my point stands is that, again, the level themes are quite bland for a Sonic game. I mean, you got military base, alien ship, which shouldn't sound boring, but it fucking is.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was saying at the very beginning when I started this topic, just this design, the design of the stage, I think was pretty boring.
Well, it's because for a platforming game, because the gun elements are so bland and pretty much kill all the enemies, you couldn't say this game is combat-oriented, even though it is. It's just that, because it lessens the amount of platforming you do, it means you're mostly just running through corridors, bashing the B button to succeed.
I see what you mean.
There's no real challenge there. I mean, there is a level that everyone says they hate. It's one of the Arc levels where you got to jump on rotating platforms, and everyone says they hate it because they're on a time limit. But I have the exact opposite opinion because it's fun platforming, or at least it's challenging platforming, and I actually enjoy it there because it feels like a kind of jump thing going. It actually has some jumping going on. Sorry for repeating myself so often. I was trying to find the words for it.
The elusive word known as jump. I can totally look at Knuckles.
Well, how about you go fuck yourself, and how about... well, the scores are going to cover him up anyway, the fucking camera stealing. Oh, you son of a bitch, he isn't covered. So yeah, I'm not showing off the opposite, version of that level where you run through gunning down soldiers, because it's just that, but twice as long and with twice as much shooting. So,
why is the A rank a magenta color? I don't understand this.
Because magenta is a lovely color.
That's debatable. Not in this game, it isn't.
Fine.
It just clashes so badly.
Hey, look! It's you again!
Oh boy, probably the most bland boss in all of Sonic.
You were unleashed to find the emerald.
I mean, I still absolutely despise this design. It's just the laziest thing they could. It's something like a preschooler would just draw on his freaking notebook. A circle on a couple of legs. Oh damn, that's original as shit, Eggman.
I think you've
Okay,
I think you've actually said the exact reason why this kind of boss exists. Like one of the boss designer's kids handed him and said, "Will you put this in the game, Daddy?" I'm not sure.
So it's sort of like how M. Night Shyamalan made Avatar for his kid.
Yeah. What? So
now I remember I was talking with Eric, or Reg, as he's also known as, a few days ago about this game, and he mentioned this boss. He said that the reason why his explanation for it was that Eggman was originally, when he originally built this machine, he was planning on working together with Shadow. So
I said that in our first part. I said the Shadow Fever thing is to power up his Shadow cyborgs.
No, not his cyborgs. He was expecting this Shadow to work with him. That's why he put in those things in the first place. You know, maybe if he and Shadow were to work together. But then, as Shadow turned against him, I guess maybe he just didn't have anything else to pick from, so he just sort of defaulted to this and forgot that he had it.
Turned against him. Even if I do his missions, I have to fight him at the end. There was no chance of working with him. Well, actually, no, never mind. The scriptwriters are just fucking dullards.
But then again, it makes about as much sense as anything else in this game, so...
Okay, fair enough.
I'm sorry, this boss just makes me so annoyed.
I just like the fact that no matter where you fight this boss, Eggman has always found this kind of arena layout of a square around a pit with another square in the middle with a ring dispenser, and no matter where you fight him, Eggman has stashed his rings there.
Why is Eggman here, though?
I forget. He wants, I don't know, he's here after he wants to actually offer Black Doom to work with him so it can be another fucking Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 situation.
Oh,
not realising he'll be betrayed at the end. He's not a wise man.
Well, you know, I think Eggman's the one with short-term memory loss. He seems to always forget what happened in the last couple of games.
No, it's not. Maybe either that or he's incredibly persistent, and you've got to respect a persistent man.
Never show your face around me again.
It's time to duel. You know, I'm not sure if I've do this conclusion in the future parts, but when you think about it, this game really is pretty much like Other M. Except like a couple of years early, in the sense that it deals with a character it develops a character who can be very interesting, but who hasn't developed that much beforehand. Well, I mean, less so Shadow, because Shadow was actually developed to some extent in SA2. But regardless of that, it does actually
finally
develop as a character. However, it pulls it off pretty badly by through poor writing, through poor voice acting, through overall poor presentation. You take what could have been a very interesting character study and screw it over. I mean, I think Shadow does have some interesting moments in this game, just like the same way I do think that Samus actually does herself have like maybe one or two good moments in Other M, don't believe it or not. But otherwise, as a whole, it really just sort of, you know...
I got evil and dark mixed up. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like Shadow actually drops his kind of like personality traits of being a revenge seeker, and in this game, and in Sonic 06, which is fucking awful, but it's been a while. And I remember from the.
I actually prefer Sonic 06 to this.
Well, yes, I do too. Sonic 06 is probably actually longer, but it sure as hell doesn't feel like it.
These humans, they don't
I mean, I do actually have like a genuine appreciation for 06, but I think that even for a person that doesn't like either this or 06, you can usually at least find 06 more fun in the sense of how absolutely stupid it can be at times. Whereas this game tries to pull off a completely serious facade the entire time.
So yeah, because I take so long on this boss fight, the first time, don't worry, you will actually see it properly another time. But because it takes so long, I sped it up about 4 times faster. And I overlaid in Sonic 2 music.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a pretty simple affair. I mean, like, aside from how much of a bitch it is. There are not enough guns on the stage to actually kill him outright, so the only other way to do it is to bounce off of Sonic, which makes him drop his shield, and then you bounce on him a couple of times, then he does a burst move, which you have to move away from or get hit. Rinse, wash, repeat. It'll take fucking ages.
So, now while we're watching this incredibly boring boss, you got anything else to say? You've got full. Oh wait, you just started using.
Sonic 2 is my least favorite Mega Drive Sonic. I don't know, guess that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I guess I can agree with you there. For me, it goes, just to kill time while we're watching this boss. My order of the classic Sonic games has always gone CD, then 3 and K, then 1, then 2.
I don't really care much for CD. I would say 1 and 3 and K are my tops, I guess.
I mean, I like 3 and K, but for a classic Sonic game, I found it almost overbearing how long it can be. Considering I'm part of the group that considers it as one game. So I don't know. I found it kind of overbearing, and I very rarely can actually play it all the way through and like in one go. Whereas CD, I can pretty much, it's more like arcade-like, and I can just sort of pick it up whenever and just play it. And I actually really like the level design. I like how it encourages alternate. I admit that it can be quite a clusterfuck at times, but I overall like how it encourages more alternate paths and ways to beat the stage. Like, I mean, Sonic 2, I know Sonic 2 had presented longer stages and stuff and whatnot than Sonic 1 did, but I enjoyed the way CD actually made it more interesting to explore other paths, at least for me.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps I haven't played Sonic CD enough to appreciate all the alternate paths and such.
It's also a lot more platform heavy, which I know got a lot of criticism. People enjoyed how Sonic 2 encouraged speed. But, I don't know. I like platforming. I was never that big about the speed from the beginning anyway, so...
Should we hold this conversation off for the credits, which will be playing in a few seconds?
Sure.
Just to talk about this ending. Yeah, this is the reason I bought the game, because I wanted to beat Sonic to death, and I'm denied even a proper Sonic boss fight. He's just like, he is merely an obstacle to killing a more boring boss.
Well, how does it make you feel that pretty much none of these endings are canon?
Well, that was obviously the case. I mean, like, there can only be one canon ending.
Which is one of the things that makes which is one of the biggest flaws of this game. It's pretty much Sonic 06 times 6. It's like you sit through... God, that mouth animation is glorious. Anyway, you sit through this game 6 times, you watch him develop as a character, and you, I don't know, maybe even grow attached to him. Yet it doesn't even fucking matter in the end, because it's all blown out like the goddamn candle at the end of those 6. Nothing matters, you just wasted a big amount of time. I mean, this entire game is centered around developing Shadow as a character, but nope, all 6 times set through this game, just doesn't matter for anything.
Yep, and you have to do it to actually get the one where it actually counts for anything.
Exactly.
Well, there's also the fact you say you could actually grow attached to him, but if anyone could grow attached to this mopey cunt, then they have bigger issues than what game they're playing. It's like, why would you get attached to this dick? Fucking hell. Even at his best, he's an annoying twat.
I don't know, I like Shadow. I was always a pretty big fan of Shadow. It's mostly SA2 Shadow. The original one that was...
I have read your thesis on why Shadow is a good character, and by the way, it's highly amusing.
I know. I wrote that like fucking 2 years ago. Shut up. God damn it. Don't bring this up, man.
I'll bring it. It's hardly the most embarrassing thing you said this commentary, as people will come to learn.
Fuck you.
So Shadow's a good character because he knows entirely what's going on, yet is not overpowered. How interesting.
No, Snake, you're not going to do this to me. Snake. Hey, Snake.
Yeah,
Snake.
yeah.
That ass.
Oh, you fuck. You got so far, you got 6 parts, man. You didn't say it.
Well, we can both sling shit at each other. Also, I'd like to know that there's like a sound effect whenever Shadow turns his head like that.
Ow. He's the ultimate life form, but they didn't really give him very good neck muscles.
He's a fucking owl. Jason Roland crushing.
Oh, I'm getting so bored of these credits, I may just start taking the piss out of people's names. There's a guy called Sega Corporation. What a faggot. I bet you're 56 million down, you fucks.
Oh. When did this cutscene happen?
In a different story. Actually, it could have been in this story. It's been a while since we've actually done this part because we're ahead.
Probably, actually.
Oh, my.
Wait. This is just repeating the cutscene we've already seen in this credits, haven't we?
Yeah, it is. This happened a few minutes. This happened seconds ago. Despite all the cutscenes they've made, they couldn't actually pick a good lineup.
Well, that's 2 neck snaps for us.
Oh my. It's just what it is, everybody.
And now it's showing us the intro. Jolly.
That moon is so
Honk,
fucking huge.
honk,
I imagine
honk.
there's so many people drowning right now. I've probably
Honk,
made that
honk,
joke already, but I can't
honk.
get over how big that moon is.
I like to imagine that every time he stabs those shoes, there's like a honk sound effect.
There's it obviously wouldn't be a honk, it'd be La Cucaracha. Those fucking shoes.
Freaking clown shoes.
Everywhere you go, you just do. Oh shit, Shadow's coming.
I want to do that now. I wish there was like a PC release of this game so I could just replace all the sound effects with like shit.
I should have LP'd that version. That wouldn't have got annoying whatsoever. Oh my. See you in Slightly Good. Or Fully Evil. I can't remember which one I do next.
Well, it's fully evil. We might move on from lootering to pushing old people downstairs.